Hey there, my name is Tanisha Coffey, and I'm a financial strategist. And I wanted to just kind of share some quick information with you. I'm sure that things are pretty hectic in your world, a lot of decisions to be made with the Spirit Airlines, shutting down and all of that. But I wanted to bring a couple things to your attention so that you can at least have a little bit of education on some of your options and things to think about. Number one, as soon as Spirit Airlines shut down, a 72-hour clock started. Essentially, what will happen in about 72 hours, maybe give a little bit given that it happened over the weekend, but most certainly likely by midweek, a trustee will come and take over Spirit Airlines retirement plan, which includes your 401k money. And when that happens, that will start a blackout period, at which time you will not be able to access your retirement funds until that blackout period ends. The blackout period can last weeks, it can last months. So, if you want to be able to have access to your money to begin to make some decisions, gain some more control over your retirement account, you essentially have about 72 hours in order to do that and to start making some moves to change things. Now, I want to give you a little bit of advice on that. People think about the most common option is they'll take it to their next job, they'll just roll it over to their 401k for their next employer. While that is definitely an option to do, it's not the ideal option. Even in this moment where things are not as you would like them to be, one of the realities is there is an opportunity to actually take control of your 401k money. It's a rare time, happens, when you're in that transition, and in this case, because the company shut down. And so rolling it over to your next company's 401k means you just simply lock the money back up. You're giving away control that you could potentially have. And so the ideal situation also is not to leave it with Spirit with that current plan because you won't be able to contribute to it. And again, you don't know who the third party administrator will be who will take the company over, which means you're going to have to wait until all of that happens before you can make any moves with your funds. So the ideal option is for you to move the money. When you do not want to take a withdrawal. Taking a withdrawal quite literally will cost you. Even if you think that you're going to need the funds to carry yourself through this transition until you find more work, you do not want to take the money as a withdrawal because a withdrawal will lead to likely 20% in withholding taxes. And if you're under 59 and a half, 10% on top of that. So you can literally lose a fifth of your wealth if you opt to take a withdrawal. The other option is to do a rollover to an IRA. If you're within these 72 hours, I suggest you go ahead, make the request to move it over to an IRA. You can do it inside of Schwab, where the 401k accounts are already at. And if you're lucky, that request will be honored even though the blackout happens because the request was put in prior to that. It's not a guarantee, but you do give the possibility of that happening. And then once you have it into, an IRA, whether it's Roth, if you had Roth funds with your 401k, or whether it's a traditional 401k and you move it to a traditional IRA, at least you will have access to those monies. Now, in either situation, that's not where you want to leave it. You're going to want to move it to another type of product that will protect all of that. It will protect your principal, right? Everything that you put in, all the match that you've earned, you don't want to risk losing that to market volatility. You still want to grow it, but you don't want to risk it to that. And inside of a traditional IRA, it's still at risk for that market volatility. So once it's in those accounts, you will want to move it to another type of account after that. But that's something that can be talked about. We can talk about that at another point in time if that's what you choose to do. But my point here today is at this point, you have these 72 hours. If you want to have more control over your money, now is the time to move it and to move it into um, a traditional or Roth IRA, depending on what kind of 401k you had. This is your best chance to go ahead and have control of your money now so you can make decisions versus having to wait until the companies and all the rules and regulations that have to happen go through before you can touch your money. Now, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can use the audio message button or you can use the video message. Send me a quick message and ask a question. High level questions, it's fine. And if you decide that you want to actually sit down and have a deeper conversation about your specific situation and, kind of multiple things, feel free to use the other button and book an appointment. This is a rough time, and I just hope that the information I'm sharing can be helpful to you. All right. Talk to you soon.